Oh, I am quite appalled by this, but then again, since when the hell do I actually give a shit about what's going on, with Hollywood and music and all that shit? I never did give a shit. So I'm not actually going to give a shit about this case. Uh, yes, these articles that are added to my browser. I'd like to thank you for it. Thank you so very much, because I'm about to blast all all four of these articles out the water. And yes, I'm not kidding. As you can see here, it is 99 degrees here in California. That's the reason why I sound so tired, or why I sound so out of breath. It's really that hot over here. 99 degrees. Not the first time I've dealt with humid weather before. But let's jump into this so I can basically blast the living shit out of this article. With a rifle, a shotgun, and a heavy machine gun. Pop singer Justin Bieber accused of attempted robbery. Pop singer Justin Bieber has been accused of attempted robbery. A Los Angeles Police Department official said on Tuesday, following media reports that he had tried to snatch a young woman's mobile telephone. Bieber, 20, had not been arrested or questioned, said spokeswoman Rosario Herrera. A spokeswoman for Bieber did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Police said that the 20-year-old had been accused of attempted robbery. It was 20. It was 20. It was midnight. I'm really tripping over this. This dude really has me tripping balls. Because every time you hear something about Justin Bieber, stupidity happens. It's catchy. Police said the 20-year-old had been accused of attempted robbery. It was Monday night here at the Sherman Oaks Castle Park, where Bieber allegedly tried to snatch a young woman's phone. Bieber has not been arrested or questioned, police said. The incident comes as the Canadian singer is due to stand trial in July in Miami. Well, Big, I hope you got your good gloves on. You might want to have to smash a bastard. Big doesn't like Justin Bieber. He want to smash him. He want to break him. I don't blame him. I want to break his ass too. He faces charges of driving under the influence, resisting arrest, and using an expired license. Detectives have interviewed the victim, who reported the alleged crime. Herrera said the incident occurred at about 10:30 p.m. on Monday in the Van Nuys area of Los Angeles. Media reported Bieber allegedly tried to take a young woman's mobile phone. For what reason, we have no idea. According to Sergeant Paul McLaughlin of LAPD's Devonshire Division, which includes Northridge and other areas of the San Fernando Valley. It was reported to police on Tuesday. No other information was available. The Canadian singer is due to stand trial in Miami on charges of driving under influence, resisting arrest, and using an expired license. In February, Beiber was charged with assaulting a limousine driver in Toronto. Yeah. I after reading all those, I do mean after reading up on all those comments. Here's what I say: this dude does not know what the fuck he's doing. Honestly, it's like this: you've got all this money. It's like this. You're 20 years old. Think about it. A 13-year-old can do a whole lot better with that money, and he doesn't even try. But a 20-year-old, you're supposed to know better. I don't care. I don't care. You're supposed to know the value of a dollar. Shouldn't even be doing the shit that he does, but he does it anyway. Because he's fucking Justin Bieber. I'm Justin Bieber. I can do whatever the fuck I want because I'm from YouTube. So, dude, I know a few Canadians who do a much better job of being a role model than you. I could say Nufi Bunga can do a much better job being a local celebrity worldwide, and I can say the Great Clement can be a better celebrity worldwide, and they're both from Canada, mind you. Different parts, but they're still from Canada. This dude is from Canada. And he is setting a bad example to where good stock comes from certain places in the world. Justin Bieber, I am so sorry, but I could pretty much say this. He's a waste of shit. He's a waste of space now. You do a lot of stupid stuff. You basically just do all these crazy ass shit, and for what reason? Just because you want to be noticed. You want to get you want to get your jollies off it. That's what I should say. You want to get his jollies off of doing stupid shit like this. And I say this, don't say, oh, leave Justin Bieber alone. No, this bastard should be kicked the fuck out. One comment said, send him to Georgia. He wouldn't live. I tell you a few places. Yeah, have him take a grand tour. Have him go to the following places. He's already in LA. Therefore, if I ever see his ass, I'm going to whip out my trusty sword, beat the living shit out of him, most likely headbutt him when he's done, and go all one finger death punch on his ass. I will go Hokuto Shinken all over his ass. Starting from the face, and possibly not stopping from the face, and currently beating his lop-headed ass up to by any means the stretch of the imagination, and basically kick his ass square over to where Big is. Big would have lots of fun with him in Florida. Since he doesn't like Beiber, I would say, please, by all means, Big, kick his dumb little shitty punk ass. Okay? Okay? It's like between the two of us, it's like I don't really like the way music is going because little shits like him actually getting away with God knows what. And I mean this, it's like the last generation of pop stars did a much better job, and we're talking about the ones in the 90s. They did a much better job in keeping their image to a respectable level. And they did real good for themselves. This little shit, suffice to say how many little fans he has, they're not going to save him from supposedly the most worst beating of his entire life. Should somebody get his hands on him and basically beat his little punk ass up. Because I believe should any member of the RCO actually run across this motherfucker, he will get permanently bashed to hell and back. I'm going to give him the Hokuto Shinken Hero no Ken schoolyard beating of a lifetime, and then probably go Kunio-kun and just basically play super dodgeball and send him flying over to Big. There you go. The others are going to look on, but the only two of us that are going to be having fun with his dumb ass are me and Big. So yeah, Justin Bieber, we don't give a shit about you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about what you've done. You're just on the shit list, sir. You're just on the shit list. Moving on. Oh, mind you, house is still getting renovated. So if you hear something in the background, that's the guy scratching some paint off. Next story, we have hundreds contact FBI about pedophile teacher case. Lovely. The file in question. This combination of photos provided by the Federal Bureau of Investigation shows William James Vahey in 1986, 95, 2004, and 13. Vahey, 64, killed himself in Luverne, Minnesota on March 21st, 2014. The discovery of Vahey, a man the FBI regards as one of the most prolific pedophiles in memory, has set off a crisis in the community of international schools where parents are being told that their children may have been victims, and administrators are scurrying to close loopholes exposed by Vahey as abuses. The number of possible victims of a teacher suspected of drugging and molesting boys during a 4-decade career at nearly a dozen schools around the world has risen sharply, with the FBI saying hundreds of people have contacted it about the case, calling William Vahey one of the most prolific pedophiles in memory. The FBI has said that the teacher molested at least 90 boys. His photos were found on a memory drive stolen by his mate in Nicaragua. But that figure appeared low after Special Agent Shauna Dunlap said Tuesday that the Bureau has now been contacted by several hundred individuals from around the globe wishing either to reach out as potential victims or provide information in the ongoing investigation. Dunlap said most of Dunlap said officials wanted as many people as possible to call or contact the FBI through its website in order to receive counseling and provide information about Vahey, who killed himself at age 64 after the evidence of molestation emerged. Vahey taught at 10 schools on 4 continents and was one of the most beloved teachers in the world of international schools that serve children of diplomats, well-off Americans, and social elites. This case has rattled the community of international schools where parents are being told their children may have been victims and administration are scurrying to close loopholes exposed by Vahey's abuses. Excuse me. Apparently, not even Vahey's victims knew that they had been molested. The double cream Oreos that he handed out at bedtime on school trips were laced with sleeping pills, enough to leave the boys unconscious as he touched them and posed them for nude photographs. Although Vahey, then 20, pleaded guilty to 1969 to a single charge of lewd and lascivious behavior, after admitting to pinching the penises of 8 young boys at a California high school where he caught swearing, didn't keep him from embarking on a series of teaching jobs that put him in close contact with children. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to stomach this. He began his international teaching career at the American School in Tehran, the first in a series of stays around the Middle East, Europe, and Asia. He taught history, social studies, and related subjects in Lebanon, Spain, Iran, Greece, Indonesia, and Saudi Arabia. Almost always to middle school students. He also coached basketball and led school trips. Authorities may have missed a warning sign during a later teaching stint in Venezuela. 2 students under Vahey's care were rushed to a hospital after falling unconscious in their hotel room on a trip, parents and staff said. Officials were unable to determine why and chalked it all up to a possible failing air conditioning. 7 years later, Vahey and his wife went to work at the Westminster campus on London's South Bank International School. About 350 pupils from 70 countries. Police say at least 60 of the 90 or so children in the images on the USB drive stolen by the maid were from that school. South Bank's chair of governors, Chris Woodhead, told Britain's Press Association there had been one complaint against Vahey, but, quote-unquote, the boys' parents agreed that there was nothing untoward and the matter shouldn't be pursued. In March, the maid who stole the memory drive handed it to American Nicaraguan school director Gloria Dole, who found it contained photos of unconscious boys, many between 12 and 14, often being touched by Vahey. Dole confronted Vahey, who told her, according to an FBI affidavit, that he had given the boys sleeping pills, adding, quote-unquote, I was molested as a boy. That's why I do this. I've been doing this my whole life. Dole demanded Vahey's resignation, according to the affidavit, and notified authorities at the U.S. Embassy the next day. U.S. officials said embassy's officials immediately notified Nicaraguan police, but Vahey had already flown out of the country. He traveled to Laverne, Minnesota, where relatives live, checked into a hotel, and stabbed himself in the chest with a knife, leaving a note apologizing to his family. Mm. All right. All right. First off, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. This is one of those stories that really just have me at the point of disturbed. I'm gonna be honest here. What gives you the right to do such a thing? What gives you the motherfucking right to do that to a child? To actually, in some shape or form, you abused a child at the most difficult and probably awkward time of their life, meaning 12 to 14 years old. They already got growing pains, okay? And then when you have a sick fuck like this doing this, which he's basically giving out sweets and putting like a little sleeping pill in between, and he basically wants to molest them because it happened to him. Okay, first off, you're a sick fuck, okay? That's one thing. You don't take this kind of shit out on a child like that, okay? If it happens to you, then A, I would suggest you get some counseling. B, when you do this, that shows you're untrustworthy with children. You don't do this sort of thing to children of that state of that nature, rather. From 12 to 14. Like I said, I am quite sickened by this. I kid you not, I am quite sickened about this. Because nobody didn't. The problem here with this article is nobody didn't say this then. It's like you expect one of the victims to actually say something about this, like, "Oh, he touched me. He did this to me. He did such and such." I would do. I mean, if it were me, if I was one of those victims, I would say, "Yes, that motherfucker over there, that sick bastard, he did this to me." I said, "I'll tell you exactly what he did to me. He did such and such and such and such and such and such to me. I will let the FBI know. Yes, this motherfucker needs to be caught." But he took his own life out. Well, the thing is, you should have taken your own life out to begin with if you're going to do that. And again, I say, what gives you the motherfucking right to do that? Just because something happened to you back in your day, you've been molested or whatnot, and you need help, and you know you need help, but you're going to take this out on somebody of that nature. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to accept that. I'm sorry. That's just bullshit. Bullshit to the ut. I know my Skype's going off, but this guy, he got off easy. He killed himself. He couldn't live with himself? Well, that's too damn bad. You should have never done it. But if you did it, And you know you're a sick fuck, then therefore, that's your ass, not mine. He could have gotten life, and yet he could have gotten molested in a worse way. In the worst way. Throw him in a penitentiary and have some sick fucks kick his ass. Then later on, just remember not to drop the soap. If you drop the soap, well, that's your ass now, isn't it? I mean, speaking as a teacher, if he was still alive, I would keep my eye on that motherfucker. He doing something like that to young boys. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say. So keep an eye on that guy. You know, if someone like this, who's a child abuser, he don't deserve to live. He deserves his ass whipped in the most inane way possible. I am totally miffed about this. I am hot. I am past hot. And it's like 90-something degrees right now. I am past hot right now. Oh boy, this one. You know what? I'm going to cool myself down because of those last two articles. So, yeah, I'm going to break the video here. And in the next half, we're going to deal with some more stupid shit. And of course, I will provide links in the description box below so you can share your thoughts about these two cases I've just shared with you. So yeah, I'll see you next time with the other two articles.